Whee! Now that right there was fun. Anyway, why am I wearing a Halloween mask? Well, because this is a Halloween special, so why wouldn't I have a Skylander themed Halloween mask on now, right? So I would have the rest of the accompanying costume, but the main problem is that it's too small for me. It doesn't really fit, so therefore I've just limited myself to the mask alone. So it's either washbook or trigger happy. I'm sure a lot of people will tell me that I made the wrong decision right there, but hey, washbooklet brings out the best of my chin right here. So due to this chin work alone, I think washbooklet has done us justice. Anyway, this Halloween themed video is going to involve chase variants because that has been the key theme for my subscriber specials for a while now, because, you know, the first ever Halloween special I did back in 2017, I believe, was dedicated to a top 10 things that best represent Halloween in Skylanders. Then I also did a Halloween special in 2018 for Skylanders Hunting, where I acquired my PS4 and played with some undead Skylanders through the Dark Light Crypt. That was a fun one. And then last year for Halloween 2019, I did, what did I do for 2019? Not a very memorable year, clearly. So between those two clips right there, I conducted some crucial research and found out that the Halloween themed video I actually did for last year was dedicated to Skylanders Halloween costumes. Kind of ironic how I forget about that top 10 special of all things, considering I'm actually wearing one of those Halloween masks that was eligible for that list. But regardless, as I alluded to earlier, this year's special for Halloween is revolving around some chase variants, which I've opened up a cardboard box for, at least from the cardboard already, because otherwise, you know, A, we'd be here for 10 years straight, and B, with my limited vision through these eyes right here, I would really struggle to even see what I was doing, so that would, of course, maximise for risk of injury, especially with deadly weapons like these. Anyway, let's get inside this box right now. All that glorious tape right there. And better yet, we've got bubble wrap on the inside thus far. So yeah, let's be chopping this up. Chopping? I wonder if I could be alluding to for one of these chase maps up here, because this is, as you can tell from the title, my most expensive trio of chase variants I have bought up until this point. But believe me, once you see what's in here, well, I think we will all be in agreement that it's worth it. But two of them are actually coincidentally enough Halloween themed, so that's what we call convenient for the Halloween special. So let's be taking all of that out. Hey, this is really cool. So we've actually sent in, as you can see right here, this official sticker book, which I didn't actually order, so clearly it was a free bonus for picking up for picking up the chase variants. Even I was about to say customs, so don't ask me why. And there's even a little note. It says thank you for your repeat custom, because this is of course a eBay seller which I've bought from previously. So yes, I really appreciate him remembering that, and you know, sending me free stuff for it. So thank you, so to say. I thank his thankfulness of me. But moving on from that thank you section, we're going to call it. We have our first chase variant here, which is not actually going to be that one, it's going to be this one instead, because this is the least most Halloween themed one. So let's just get into this tape right now. Quick little snip right there. Quick snip goes a long way, especially if you're playing like your character's such a shortcut even. But man, I'm not doing a great job of speaking through this thing. Hopefully you guys can hear my voice there. Anyway, let's try not to chop the box itself, because these stories just deserve to be preserved. And that's another reason why I've repeat bought from this second buyer, because of the fact that these things are in pristine condition. So yeah, you guys can kind of see already our first chase variant. And right after the bat, this one is epic, and it's our cheapest and the most interesting one of the bunch. So yeah, we only go up from here. This is what we call the peak of my chase variant collecting career. Because man, do we have some absolutely awesome characters popping up. But yeah, if you guys think this is taking me long, just imagine what you'd have to do if I had to chop open the box from scratch. And scratch actually is another Skylander. Thank you, editor, for putting that exact Skylander up there as I mentioned her name. Regardless, here it is. Not glow in the dark Sonic Boom, the litter Sonic Boom. Now it's not really picked up on camera, but she is very sparkly and glittery, hence the name Glitter Sonic Boom. So, man, this is so cool. We of course have the series 2, the name and the catchphrase, the game she works in, the art card at the back, which is straight and pristine looking. Here is a small part of damage on the corner of the box right there, but that is minimal, I tell you. Then the back. No signs of wear whatsoever, it's really well kept. Because here we have other air scarves on the bottom, such as Jetvac, Lightcore, Jetvac, Sonic Boom, and Whirlwind. And the classical 1, 2, 3 for the Series 2 lineup, which is of course represented by the Trigger Happy, which, as I said at the intro, that was the ultimate costume to this one, but with this one bringing out the best from my chin. This one's definitely doing us justice. Why am I saying this again? To repeat it for effect, for repetition, puts emphasis on things and all. So let's move that cheese string out of the way and move to this original one, which I actually pulled out first. So, time to chop it again. Can we just lift that out? Yes, we can. And you guys can see already why when I said the chopping was linked to the chase variants earlier, because chopping there can be any more of an appropriate term for, of course, Chop himself and one of his chase variant forms. I say one because he has many. His gold version from Spiral Adventure and his green version from Swap Force, but the best of all of them is his metallic form, which is the exact one I forgot, and you guys can see what? Oh my gosh! That blue! Oh! That is the nicest shade of blue I've ever seen. It's so metallic, it's shiny, and yet it's just so pristine. It's gorgeous, it's beautiful, it's everything I look for in Shakespeare, and on top of that we of course have the art card on the back. We have the catchphrase and the name of the character, as well as the games it works in, the standard stuff, the backlog and glories with, once again, 1, 2, 3, the orange colour palette from Giants, and several other undead Skylanders, and an in-game screenshot too of Chop jousting, and then the top of that at the back features Hex, Chop, Cinder, and Fright Rider, though I probably should have left the Hex for last because that ties into our final character, the Asta La Vistance of this package right now. This is going to blow your mind. This is why the £375 I paid for this trio of chase variants is worth it. Because man, was this character expensive, but for the rarity it presents itself with, I couldn't be more honoured to add Pearl Hex to my collection. Yes, you guys heard that right. Pearl Hex. I mean, like, she's not even out of the packaging and she's already so glorious. So yes, we saw Hex on the back of Chop's packaging, and now we get to see Hex physically in her Pearl form, which once again is very well kept, and that's very great for Spiral Adventure because these packages are years old, and yet it's still got that smooth curve. It's a little bit loose back here, but nothing a little glue won't fix. The back is a little bit bent, but I expect that from any Spiral Adventure packaging, again, because they're taking their age into consideration. But apart from that, you of course have the depth from the logo, and the fact that it's not part of the art card on the back, unlike these Giants characters, mind you. You have a chase variant herself, the pearliness. She truly looks with this shade of white like a pearl, hence the name and all. The art card looks so cool. I never actually got the single pack Hex in a brand new package. I bought her pre-owned without the packaging, so this is the first time I'm actually owning a Hex in the packaging of some sort, so that's sweet to see. And the back brings me so much nostalgia. We have the classic 1, 2, 3. We have the barcodes that you could use from Skylanders Universe back when that game was available. Then you have several other undead Skylanders from the Spiral Adventure lineup. In fact, you have all of them that were available, both roasted, Chop, Cinder, and Hex. And then an in-game screenshot of a character. which looks like it takes place in the Sky Schooner docks level. Oh man, and then at the front you of course have her catchphrases, her name, her element, and you know, you have a classic 1, 2, 3 somewhat on the side right here. Once again with Trigger Happy, you know, a fan favourite, very recognisable character. But you know, back with Dora and Spyro's Adventure, this was the only Skylander game, so they didn't need to worry about creating the they didn't need to create, even for the Spyro's Adventure packages, the picks for which games they worked in, because of course these characters worked in Spyro's Adventure back when that was the only game, and they've worked in every game since. What a trio of chase variants indeed, an expensive one but a glorious one all the same. This looks so damn cool, these three in unison with one another. I could not be more satisfied with this purchase, and the fact that, as I said earlier, the buyer sent me free stuff to thank me for my loyalty out of the kindness of his heart. It's truly heartwarming to see just such great amounts of generosity, shall we go as far to say, and there's actually more stuff still left in the box, so we're gonna, you know, check out all of this stuff and find out what it might be. It's once again give me a thank you message for and remind me of the additional item that was sent, that being of course the official Skylander sticker book. So yes, what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to some gameplay of these two characters, since they are the undead themed chase variants of the special, so naturally gameplay of these two characters would make the most sense for this Halloween special. Yes, Halloween, undead, two go together because Halloween is a celebration of the undead. Ooh, spooky. Oh my gosh, I got a cobweb up there. Yes, so welcome to the top left corner of the screen if you just so happen to be looking at my glorious face rather than the gameplay right now. But a fun little fact about the gameplay profile that you see before you, it's actually the same profile as that of the Skylander Trap Team Soul Link that I recently wrapped up with Demicod, so naturally speaking I'm finally able to open up these presents that have been left for me after the completion of that playthrough, due to the fact that the Hex, Pearl Hex more specifically, actually required the use of those level up orbs, unlike Wildfire that we ended off that series with. Now, what happened from those rewards is that we garnered ourselves a hat and a trinket, both of which looked rather fitting for Hex's design and blended in well with the themes of Halloween as well, and the imagery that comes from all of that. So naturally, of course, I was going to apply them. You know, I've got boosted stats, I looked the part, and speaking of looking the part, I've even applied a black and white filter to the gameplay, so then it has that old monster movie style type look to it, you know.
You too. Yes? Hey? Quite a good scene, isn't it? One man crazy, three very sane spectators. moving. It's alive. Oh, it's alive. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive. Oh, in the name of God. Now I know what it feels like to be God.
Similar to that of the original Frankenstein and Dracula, and of course even modern monster movies like Frankenweenie, as animated by Disney, have been put in this black and white filter, so to say. It's just really great for horror-esque footage because of the lack of colours, you know, the dreary nature to it. It just builds further atmosphere and tension, so to say. So we've jumped on in to the Ultimate Weapon purely because there's no real undead-themed stages in Trap Team, and there's nothing more fearful than approaching chaos on Skylander's Trap Team with low-level characters. That is some of the greatest dread anyone could feel when playing a video game, because man, underpowered characters and last levels in the game do not mesh well together, to say the least. Now, unfortunately, I had to mute the audio because I wanted to speed up the gameplay. Otherwise, we'd be here for far too long, because Ultimate Weapon is quite a endurance test, you could go as far to say. But hey, that means that now I can add in my own choices of music, and that's going to be all of the Halloween type tracks of Skylanders, you know, tracks that come from undead levels, such as the Cadaverous Crypt, which hopefully you can hear right now. Hopefully I've recalled to do such a thing in the edit. But yeah, the setup all around me, the cobwebs that I was alluding to earlier, that was all made by yours truly in Photoshop, so I hope you guys appreciate the layout. I quite kind of like the fact that I have a blend of Skylanders and then cartoon, traditional Halloween icons, such as, you know, the cartoonish bats, the witch's hat, Dracula has come to suck your blood. Very similar to that of Night Shift right there. Again, hopefully that's another thing that I remember to insert in the edit. And once again, that's an appropriate edit because Night Shift is an undead Skylander, so once again it fits in with that Halloween theme quite well. And then on top of that, we also have Frankenstein, which is a movie I referenced earlier, since it's one of the best known black and white films out there, especially when it comes to monster movies, back when Universal used to be known as a studio for making monster flicks. Now they're, you know, more varied, but, you know, back when they first started, they were known for their monsters, so to say. You know, your Godzillas, your King Kongs, your Frankensteins, all that fun jazz. Ooh, best Autobot I just brought up right there, but he's not Halloween themed. He's not Halloween themed even, so get him out of here. Anyway, I promised you guys a while back that I would be doing a 400 subscriber giveaway during the night of Halloween. Well, that's exactly what day it is today. Today is Halloween, so naturally that giveaway that I have been promising you guys is coming into fruition. So I'm gonna give you guys the full roster for the giveaway, as well as the rules of how to enter after this little segment requiring this layout has concluded itself, mind you. And what's so exciting about this 400 subscriber giveaway, and why I'm glad I left it until Halloween, is because it gave me the opportunity to find this in a store. Now, ignore the fact that it has a sticker on there, free for $3.99, because I actually paid £15 for the entire lot. That's right. Every single Skylander in this tub right now, I paid £15 for every single one of them. So let me know in the comments below even whether you think this was a worthwhile pickup. Now, there are two main problems with this. The first of all is that there's nothing from Trap Team or Imaginators, which unfortunately are a lot of where people's collections are missing certain characters due to the fact that those figurines are much rarer and more expensive. So it's a shame I can't really be giving many of the Skylanders from those lineups away, but I still have a few Skylanders from every game at the very minimum. You guys will see that once this is wrapped up, as again I said earlier. Regardless, the second thing is that I don't actually need any of the Skylanders in here, they're all doubles, but that's a great thing for you guys, because that means that every single one of these Skylanders is going to be given away today. Well, at least put into a giveaway. that will be announced at some point. I'm going to announce it at a random point, and the winner will only have a few days to respond back to me. Otherwise, the giveaway prize will go to the runner-ups. So definitely be sure to subscribe so you guys can know when that video is dropped announcing the winner. Anyway, it turns out in the gameplay you can now see me going through the upgrades of the chase variants, and the thing with the Pearl Hex is that she started at level 1, no money to her name whatsoever. However, Metallic Chop Chop, of course, with him being a chase variant from Giants, he started at level 5 with 2,000 gold, so he was much better off than Hex when it came to his upgrades right off the bat. Regardless, our first Skylander, Legendary Bouncer. Then we have the Hot Streak right here, pretty common vehicle, but still pretty cool to be included in this, because we're barely scratching the surface of what I have, because we also have the Magma Forge. Then we also have ourselves a Shroom Boom from Giants right here. We have a Trap Shadow, one of the rarer swappers that I know not many people got their hands on, especially since he was towards the end of the lineup. Then we also have Sharpshooter Terrapin right here. Light Core Eruptor. And we also have Slobbertooth. And we have Ninja Stealth Elf. We also have the Sea Shadow, a sea terrain vehicle, you know, sea is literally in its name. Then we also have a Washbuckler, a starter pack character, so unfortunately many people own that one already. Same with the Ninja Stealth Elf that you guys saw already. Then we have everyone's favourite Skylander, Jetpack right here, in all of his glory. Then next up we have Bumble Blast, and again I hope you guys are enjoying both this view from the top left right here and the black and white gameplay as well. You know, I quite like the layout, I think it's pretty dope, so I did myself proud. But moving on back to the hall right here, there's Mega Ram Spy Ram, and then there's a really rare one for the US, so I'm sure some American viewers are definitely going to take a liking to this one right here. Series 2 Basher character that was far easier to find in Europe than it was in America during the initial release of Giants. So that's why a lot of Americans are still missing him to this day due to his rarity in that specific region. But hey, you guys at least had a release of Series 2 Drobot. Here in Europe, he was never released, so my iteration of character had to be imported. Regardless, our next character is going to be Series 1 Lightning Rod right here. Next up we have the Winged Boot. Then we have Anvil Rain, the Hidden Treasure right here. And we also have Lava Bath Ruptor, Stormblade. We kind of got two blended in one right here because it seems as though Stealth Elf doesn't want to get out of Cinder's grasp right there, because we have Legendary Series 2 Stealth Elf and Series 1 Cinder, two less common characters. That's one thing I do like about this haul, the fact that there are at least a few uncommon characters that I'm sure you guys will appreciate having the opportunity to win 5 for giveaway, and it seems as though, you know, we're currently in the midst of a heated game of Skystone Smash. You gotta love that. But moving back along to the haul, we have Spire Eyes next, a fan favourite swapper for sure. Then next up we have another Washbuckler. Anyway, moving on, we have another Jetpack, but this time it's the Legendary form. Then we also have a Light Core Prison Break. You know, Prison Break is the reason why Light Cores even exist, and he teaches you angles, so I'm sure he gets you through a bunch of trigonometry exams. He has a broken wow pow, and yet people still don't like him. I don't get that. He's so cool in my personal opinion. Like, sure, he has a slow movement speed, but really that's about it. Anyway, we have ourselves a Winged Boot. I can't remember whether we had one of these guys already, but here's a Winged Boot all the same. Moving on, we have my boy actually, Series 1 Igniter, looking awesome. And we also have Super Gulp Pop Fizz right here, at least I sure hope that's the name of this Series 2. Then we have a Series 1 Trigger Happy right here, his gun's in the correct position. We also have a Gilgrunt and a Spyro. My apologies, these characters are really common, but you know, when you pay £15 for an entire haul like this, you've got to have a few liberties. Anyway, now we have a slightly rarer character right here, Dynarang from Spyro's Adventure. And continuing with the Spyro's Adventure theme, we have the Series 1 Double Trouble, and also a Series 2 Double Trouble to be given away. Then there's Spitfire. We saw the Hot Streak earlier, so it was only a matter of time till we unveiled Spitfire right here. Then we have one of the best of the entire haul, Bone Bash Rollerball right here. I'm sure a lot of you are missing this regular version, so that was a great find. And then we also have Series 2 Cinder right there. And we also have a T-Rex, probably the most common Skylander out there, to be honest. Like, Giants sold a lot of copies and T-Rex was available no matter how you bought Giants, through a booster pack, through a starter pack. He even transferred over from a console to 3DS versions. Anyway, moving on, we also have Blasso, Dive-Clops, Smash It, Super Shot Stealth Off right there, another starter pack character. Anyway, moving on from there, we also have the Sky Iron Shield, a Series 1 Prism Break that has a rather mossy top. Yeah, this has more green on it than a normal Prism Break, so I suppose that just adds to its attention to detail, I suppose. Anyway, moving on from there, we have a Series 2 Chop Chop. Far more boring in comparison to my metallic version over here. Kind of funny how, you know, I'm showing him on this camera despite the fact that he's currently being played with in the gameplay section. So yeah, that's some metallic Chop Chopception for you right now. Regardless, from there we also got Shrook. Oh, sorry, this is just regular Zook, but you know, you've got to incorporate memes into videos somehow. And from there we also got a Zulu, a Knockout Terrafin, a Series 1 Sonic Boom. We also have a Series 1 Drill Sergeant, which has some really interesting story behind it, because during primary school I had a mate who also collected Skylanders, and he got Drill Sergeant before I did, and he told me that he transforms into a train, so I believed that lie for the longest time until I finally found a Series 1 Drill Sergeant in the wild during the Swap Force era. So it was very rare to find Spyro to Venture all the way up to Swap Force, so when I finally found a version of Drill Sergeant to mess around with, it was such an incredible experience for me. My grandparents were kind enough to buy him for me. It was funny though, because his packaging was completely destroyed. It was sellotaped back together, so clearly someone had previously tried to steal it, and Tesco had, you know, of course, removed them from the premises for their theft attempt, and sellotaped the package back up and completely forgot to stock it back up again until I arrived. Anyway, moving on from there, we got Series 2 Slumber, everyone's favourite Blizzard Chill. Everyone loves this character. Anyway, we actually have the Legendary Series 2 Slumber as well. Series 1 Stump Smash right there, appropriate because I just had a Know Your Skylander specific for that guy as of late. Another Blast Zone, another Ninja Stealth Elf, 2 entire Swap Force starter packs worth of characters right now. And then I save the best 2 for last. We have, of course, my penultimate boy, Legendary Igniter. I'm almost sad that I'm giving this one away, to be honest. You know, you can never have too many Legendary Igniters, to say the least. And for best, for Asta the V-Stance, the true reason why I would even dare pay £15 for this, because this item alone is worth £15. Gerard. I mean, he's infinitely valued. You can't put a value on the power of Gerard. So yeah, that was the entire tub. I paid £15 for that, and the shopkeepers were actually kind of glad to be rid of it, because apparently all it was doing was taking up space. But yeah, I couldn't have been more happy with a haul like that. We got lots of Skylanders that I'm sure lots of you need, so throwing them all into a giveaway I'm sure will satisfy one lucky person. But we still got to wait for the gameplay section to be over yet. So whilst we wait for that, I'm thinking it's Halloween. It's a tradition at Halloween to either eat so many sweets that you make yourself sick, or give out sweets to kids so that then they can make themselves sick. Now unfortunately this year there's going to be a huge lack of trick-or-treating due to a certain pandemic, but that's not going to stop me taste testing for the first time this white chocolate Toblerone in the comfort of my own home right here. Just got to make sure I don't accidentally get it tangled up in those cobwebs over there. Regardless, let's be opening this up then, shall we? Oh, and by the way, those Skylanders from £15 tub are not the only Skylanders I'm giving away, so definitely be sure to stay tuned until the end for the giveaway details and the giveaway roster, as I said earlier. Anyway, this packaging is always fancy, for the fact that it's triangular, and the coolest thing about this is that it's white chocolate, which is my favourite, although it can get sweet, so I can't see myself just absolutely waltzing this down, but it's from Switzerland, now that you can finally read it for the packaging being the right way up. So yeah, you got a nice little mountain logo, of course the name Toblerone, and then Swiss white chocolate and almond nougat of Switzerland. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to eating this Switch chocolate stuff, and I gotta hurry up because it seems as though the gameplay is coming to an end, and if it does, I'm just going to edit in this as a full screen before you. I'm not doing a great job of removing this foil now, am I? The answer to that is no. No, I am not. Anyway, so there goes the foil. And this right here would be your chocolate. Oh, I'm very much looking forward to this. So most people with Toblerone take off the chunks that way, but you don't want to do that because that's how you get chocolate all over your fingers. So all you do instead is you push it inwards. It gets much less chocolate on your fingers. I mean, sometimes it can break off more triangles than you were anticipating, but you know, in that case you still just do that, I suppose. Yeah. So now we're going to do exactly what I told you guys what not to do, and get chocolate all over my fingers anyway, so we can finally taste test this gloriousness right here. Oh, that is so good. I love regular Toblerone, but because I prefer white chocolate over any other form of chocolate, the white chocolate really elevates the taste and it makes it so damn good. I'm definitely going to enjoy this as my Halloween substitute. Couldn't ask for a better sweet right now, my friends, or for you Americans, candy, because that's what you call it for some strange reason. But did it have Skylanders besides the one in that massive tub to give away? So once we combine the two hauls together, I actually have 80 characters to be given away. So naturally all you need to do to enter is to leave a comment publicly on this video claiming that you want to, of course, join the giveaway, and then your name will be entered into said giveaway in anticipation for the revealing of the winner in due time. But for the moment being, we're going to take a quick closer look at what is to offer now. I'm not going to be able to send off every single Skylander here, so I do request that whoever wins the giveaway only asks for Skylanders that they need to be sent to them, so that way I can hold on to the characters that they have already for future giveaways, unless they have certain customs in mind. I might allow that as well, but yeah, it's basically the whole idea of the giveaway is that you can pick and choose how many you do or do not want, so to say. That's the gloriousness of it, mind you. It's kind of like a completing your collection-esque scenario. And of course we might have a chase variant above them, but that's just to make the shop look all more glorious. It has nothing to do with the giveaway, because believe me, those chase variants, they are way too expensive to give away. So regardless, those are your 80 characters up for grabs, so let me know in the comment section below whether you want to be entered into the giveaway or not. My apologies for that stuttering at the end of the last clip right there, can't really help that, but regardless, I do want to take a closer look at today's chase variants, including that old metallic Chop Chop you see before you. But before we get into that, I first have a few things that I want to address. No doubt, of those of you who paid attention to the gameplay, you noticed a drastic change in Chop Chop stats after the transition that started off the smokescreen boss fight, so I'm going to explain about that edit right now before we take a closer look at today's chase variants. Don't worry, for those of you who are horrified of my face, this is the last time you're going to see it. I know it's been the scariest thing in this video, but I needed to bring in some horror somehow, and with how terrified my face is, I felt like that was the perfect way to do so. But all self-insults aside, what happened with the Chop Chop incident is that going into the smokescreen battle, I actually died in that first take. So what happened is that I wound up cutting the take right there, and so I went into a different profile to level Chop Chop up, upgrade him. I did the same for Hex, despite the fact that we didn't actually return to her character throughout the rest of the video. But regardless, I did all of that, and one of the levels I tackled for the said preparation was none other than Operation Troll Rocket Steel. Now I bring this up because I came across a very interesting glitch with Crypt King over here. Very appropriate Skylander once again, because he's very undead based, so with him being a creature of the undead, he fits in with Halloween quite well. But regardless, this glitch made it so that, as you can see right there, the Traptanium froze in place and could not be smashed up, and neither could I claim the treasure chest from within it. In fact, Crypt King could go as far to walk straight through the Traptanium as if it wasn't even there. So yeah, I found a rather interesting glitch between the cut of that first take, and then what I did is that I went through the level a second time, and then for that second take from the smoke screen onwards, I simply cut that door in for black screen transition to kind of mask the cut in a way. So that's where the magic of editing came in. But like I say, between those two cuts, that was from the transition, I found this glitch, and it was definitely worth highlighting. So that's why you guys have seen this here clip and my face for the last time. So without further ado, let's conclude this video and take a closer look at those chase variants. At long last, we finally have the chase variants up close and personal on the rear end of the camera where they can focus properly and I can get some nice shots of them. But beforehand, we have, of course, a reminder right behind them of what's up for grabs with the giveaway, as well as some awesome merch and my flocked Stump Smash up the top, but that's of course separated from the giveaway because that's not included with it. I cannot emphasize this enough. Chase variants are too bloody expensive to give away. Regardless, the giveaway itself does involve a lot of aspects that I have promised, so I've been able to fulfill said promises, such as for Senseis and the former for Crash Bandicoot Duo. I will be doing a huge giveaway that's going to involve a variety of characters from a variety of these games right here, including Imaginators. I will be giving away Senseis as well, so that's why we've got to really push for 400 subscribers, guys. As well as a shortcut right ahead of them, although you can just see his scissors in this shot right here. Regardless of all that, there's actually going to be a video coming out exactly a week from now, giving you guys the context as to where I bought that massive tub of Skylanders from, so be sure to look out for that video for a second chance to enter the giveaway. But as for right now, we're going to take a glorious close look upon these characters, because man are they incredible. The Chomp Chomp is very distinguishable amongst the two, since the blue has a nice gleam from the light, you know, it reflects it very well to create said gleam, and it's just a really nice shade that really suits the design as well, because Chop Chop is, you know, he's one half armor, another half skeletal warrior, so the metallic blue just really brings about the ideology behind that armor, mind you. And oh, it's so shiny too, it's so nice looking. The camera does not do this shade of blue justice, it's that nice looking. Now the Pearl Hex is a little bland, you know, it's just white really, but it doesn't take away from the fact that she is one of the rarest figurines of the entire collection, so it is above an honour to add her to mine. Well, by mine I mean my collection, most obviously. And then Glitter Sonic Boom over there, I almost said Whirlwind, but regardless of what the character's name is, it has glitter plastered all over it, and that too looks glorious. You can see the sparkles much more up close and personal for the figurine right here. And once again, it just really adds to the beauty of this figurine. It adds a lot of personality and life and energy to the character, I'd go as far to say. So that's honestly my second favourite when it comes to the pure look of the chase variant, but when it comes to the rarity, of course, Pearl Hex is ultimately what rounds off this trio as an expensive trio, but a trio that was worth it all the same. £375 for all this. A really distinguishable chase variant, even with a glorious looking shade of blue, which has a beautiful reflection of the light to truly make it gleam. A glitter character that has lots of energy and charm to it to truly bring out the character or the personality even of said character. And then a extremely rare collector's item to round it all off with. But that's going to do it for this Halloween special. My apologies if it wasn't quite spooky enough for you. But all of my Halloween voices aside, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will of course be seeing you in the next video. But until that moment arises, peace.